Hey, look at this. There is snow in Warsaw.
I didn't plan to make a film about Windsor. I planned to make a film about a city, about how a place changes and how we change with it. Living in Warsaw as a foreign student taught me something simple. Cities speak quietly, not through monuments or postcards, but through moments we usually ignore. This film is an observation of Warsaw, of time, and how a city becomes part of you before you even realize it.
It's a Palace Kultury i Nauki, and you cannot ignore it, because some would call it as a gift, but the other think that's a monumentum to control. But why?
Today, the Palace of Culture and Science stands in the very center of Warsaw. You can see it from almost anywhere in the city, between modern glass towers, busy streets and the crowds rushing by. Inside there are theaters, cinemas, museums, universities and even a viewing terrace. For many people it's just a meeting point, a landmark, a part of everyday life. But this building was not always seen this way. The Palace of Culture and Science was built between 1952 and 1955 as a gift from the Soviet Union to Poland. It was designed in the style of socialist realism and inspired by Moscow's skyscrapers. At 237 meters tall, it became the tallest building in Poland, and it stayed that way for decades. More than 3,000 workers were involved in its construction, and the building was meant to represent power, progress and ideology. For many Poles, it was a reminder of a difficult political past, something imposed rather than chosen. Today opinions are still divided. Some people see it as a symbol of oppression and the history they want to forget. Others see it as an architectural icon that became part of Warsaw identity. Love it or hate it, the Palace of Culture and Science is impossible to ignore.
And this is Stare Miasto, which is Warsaw Old Town. And this here looks kinda old, right? But let me tell you something, this city grows from nothing.
When I say this city grew from nothing, I really meant it. During World War II, Warsaw was systemically destroyed. The old town, once full of narrow streets, churches and the homes, was leveled almost completely. More than 85% of the city lay in ruins. Families lost their homes, streets disappeared, memories were buried under rubble. But Warsaw didn't disappear. After the war, reconstruction began, not only to rebuild buildings, but to restore identity. The city relied on old photographs, paintings and architectural plans to recreate the old town. Every brick, every street, every square was reconstructed with care. This wasn't just construction, it was a national act of remembrance, resistance and hope. Today, Warsaw Old Town is full of life. The streets, destroyed during the war, now have colorful houses on each side. The cobblestones tell the story of the past. Small shops and the cafes make the square warm and busy. Street performance and the musicians play music on the streets. People walk and enjoy the city. This is not a frozen place, it is alive. The royal castle stands in the center of the old town. It was rebuilt carefully after the war. Squares are not just empty spaces. Markets fill the air with smell of bread and flowers. Every corner is interesting. Walking here, you can feel the layer of the history. The walls are rebuilt, but they keep memory. The streets are new, but they remember what happened before. Tourists take photos, children play. Every house on the street shows the courage of the people. Warsaw was destroyed, but it came back. The old town is a place to visit, but also a place to learn. It shows the cities are not just buildings, they are stories, memories and the people effort. Life continues, but the city remembers its past. Walking in the old town, you feel the heartbeat of Warsaw. It is strong, historic and alive. This part of the city teaches us, even after destruction, life can rise again. Memory and the hope are a foundation of every city. And looking at all of this, I started to ask myself, who noticed these stories? Who watches this city? Walks the streets and carries its memory. For me, the city became more than just a place. It became a way to see the world, to explore, to understand and to share. And that's why I want to tell you my story.
And this is the city where I live. But let me introduce myself first. My name is Birjan, and I'm from Kazakhstan. I would like to think about myself as a traveler, and to hear the countries I have been. Okay, I'm like trying to be a traveler, alright? I explore cities, cultures, and stories. Every journey shapes who I am right now. And I'm not just a traveler. I've always wanted to see edges of the world. Antarctica is next. It's unforgettable, untouched, and extreme. And I want you to experience with me on my Instagram channel. And except travel, I'm also a designer. Graphic design is how I bring stories to life. and here is my works. You can take a look. But if you would like to see my full portfolio, here is a QR code or link in below. We are coming back to Warsaw. For the last 100 of years, this Vistula river was dividing the city. But now it connects it.
Vistula River, or Wisla, as it's called in Polish, shaped Warsaw for hundreds of years. In the past, the river marked the border between neighborhoods and the social groups. Boats and the ferries were only the way to cross in many places. The river was wide, sometimes wild, and it influenced daily life in the city. People built houses along its banks, but they also feared the floods. Today, the Vistula River flows calmly through Warsaw. Bridges connect the two sides of the city, where once there was a division. People walk and run along the riverbanks. Parks, cafes, and benches make the river a place to rest, meet, and enjoy the life. Boats sail quietly, carrying both tourists and the locals. The river reflects the modern skyline, the bridges, and the energy of the city. Along its banks, old buildings mix with the new ones. People cycle, jog, and watch the water. The Vistula is no longer a barrier. It connects the neighborhoods, communities, and stories. The river carries the heartbeat of modern Warsaw. It is part of the city rhythm, shaping everyday life. It shows how Warsaw has grown, rebuilt, and continues to change.
And finally, that city which was destroyed in the past, rebuilt it, and now is leading the future. But hey, just imagine, it was destroyed and built up in just 50 years.
This is modern Warsaw, the city of tall buildings and the business centers. At the center stands the Warsaw Tower, the tallest building in Poland. It reaches 310 meters into the sky and can be seen from many parts of the city. Around it, glass towers rise high, reflecting sunlight and the busy streets below. People walk quickly to work, trams and cars move along the roads, and the city is full of energy. Office buildings, shops and cafes make the streets alive. Even here, among steel and glass, you can see traces of history. Old streets and squares mix with modern buildings. The city moves fast, full of business, ideas and opportunities. Streets are busy, but there are also quiet corners where people meet, sit and enjoy the view. Walking here, you feel the rhythm of a city that rebuilt itself after destruction. From above, towers rise beside older landmarks. The mix of old and the new shows how Warsaw carries its past into the future. This film is not only about Warsaw. It is about time, memory, and change. I showed winter streets, old walls, the river, and the modern towers. Each place tells a different story, but all of them belong to one city. Warsaw was destroyed, divided, and rebuilt. It lost much, but it never lost its spirit. Walking through the city, I learned that places shape people. Streets teach patience, history teaches respect, and movement teaches growth. As a traveler and a designer, I tried to see more than buildings. I look for stories, emotions, and connections. Warsaw is not perfect, but it is honest. It remembers its past and it still moves forward. This city became part of my journey. It changed how I see places, people, and myself. And maybe that is what city truly is, not just where we live, but where we learn who we are. This is Warsaw, in heart of Poland.